Okay, what's next? Wheels. We've done everything we can there. Now we're doing wheels. All right. Now, the reason why I'm a bit hesitant, I was actually thinking about spraying the wheels, making them a colour. But the thing with doing that is, um, then if you hit something, or you scuff the wheel, the paint comes off and it looks horrible. So just keep them as they are. Now, I'm cutting all these pieces off one sprue. Some for the front wheel, some for the back wheel. So basically, in one of these sprues, you got one rear wheel and one front wheel. And on the other sprue, you've got one rear wheel and one front wheel. But let's have a look at just one of these sprues. So that one's empty. We can get rid of that. Okay. Now, this being the rear wheel, this is important. The front wheel doesn't matter, but we need to work out the rear wheel. So that's the front wheel. Okay, that's front wheel. So this should be back wheel. And that this side faces the body. Now, with the difference with the Grasshopper is this of the tires. Now, tires need to go in a certain direction. All right. So you can see that this way they scoop through sand. This way they push sand away. So forwards is that way. So so this, if I put this rim in that way, this will be the right. Sorry. If I put this in, hang on, I've confused myself. But basically, they should face forward. So that would be that side, and the other wheel has to face the same way. So it would be opposite to this. But let's getting these onto the tire. People say soak them in hot water, do all this stuff. You don't need to do that. You just need to work at them. And I can tell you, as a 15-year-old, I was not going to the kettle. All right, so just keep on working at it. And we're going to make sure that goes the right way around. People complain about the tyres, but the tyres aren't the problem. The tyres are not that bad. The problem is all the screws you got to put in those wheels. So you keep on pushing, keep on pushing. Eventually you get to a spot where you swivel it. Almost there. If I just get that last lip in, there we go. Now we can swivel. All right. All right, we're good. We're good with that one. All right, so we've got this plate goes on the here, and this plate goes on the front. And then we do all the screws. But I'm not worried about that at the moment. At the moment, I'm worried about making sure that I get the second one in the right direction. All right, so that one was going in that direction. It's just as hard to pull this thing out as it was to put in. All right, so that, because basically, yeah, the middle bit goes in, and these bits lock around that rubber rim to lock the tire in place, so you don't glue them. You don't glue them at all. So the other piece I'm going to need is this one. And we've got to make sure that this one goes in opposite to this one. All right, so if that one goes in that way, this one goes in this way. So this has to face out to us. Now, as I said, I did this as a 15-year-old, and I definitely didn't soak the tires. I didn't have the internet telling me tips and things to do. It just said, put this in here, so I did it. All right. And I know there's many of you out there that actually built these cars when I built it. So which way are we going? We need that. Yeah, to face this way. All right. So there's many of you out there that built these cars when they came out, and we didn't have all these tips and tricks on YouTube. We just built them. And there we go. So now all I've got to do is the same thing. Lock in the hubs. That's the main thing. These have to be opposite. So you're scooping through the sand. Is that right? Did I do that right? Yeah, so all right. So yeah, you scoop through the sand because you see the direction of the tire, but they should be opposing each other, and you can see they are opposing each other. Now, this is where it gets tricky. As you place these bits on, and then we've got a whole series of nuts and bolts to worry about. So get rid of those. And these are different lengths. So the longer ones go to the back, and the short ones go to the front. So at the moment they're all the same, but what isn't a difference is the nuts. So these tiny nuts, which I can't even pick up, these tiny nuts. All right, so we need, when you do the wheels, you need to put a nut in each of these. All right, and they don't like to settle too much, so you need to wiggle them around a bit. If you get them to drop in, and now that one's dropped in, hold it, and then I need a slightly longer one. So that should be this one. Oof, it's hard to pick up. All right, so we're putting that through there. And no, that's not long enough. So we need something a little longer. Hang on. Is that pressed together enough? So I'm looking at the length of these screws, and there's the short ones, and that is the longer one. So that one should be the right one. If I can pick the bloody thing up again. Sorry, I can't pick it up. That is the longer one. So that one should be the right one. So why didn't that engage? This is not engaging. All right. That looks like the longer one. Okay, maybe I haven't compressed this enough. That should be enough. If you're wondering about this mark on my thumb, that's just from doing garden work. Even though I was wearing gloves, I got a blister. Now that's not engaging at all. Alright. So that's not long enough. What is long enough? There's going to be a problem, because something must be wrong. Okay, there's a gap. Alright. I've done all I can. If that doesn't grab, I have to pull this apart. That's not going to grab at all. Oh, hang on. I think it did grab. Yep. Got it. Okay. So that's the first one secured. And now I've got to go do these ones and all the rest. I'm not going to put you through all that. I'm just going to play a bit more. Maybe do another couple. I'm having a bloody hard time picking up these things because they're so small. Especially the nuts. I mean, you can see how small the nuts are. Whoops. Don't want to lose any of those because see how small the nuts are. So put another nut in there. If I can grab the bloody thing. Oops. Yeah, this is something you don't want to do. On a carpeted area. Why? Because if you lose the nut, you're stuffed. Where's my knife? Come on, just tuck in. No, not going to do it. These are slippery little suckers, I can tell you. Hang on, tick. Alright, cool. Right. So where are we going? We're going here. That one's grabbed as well. Anyway, that's basically the process. As long as you get these tires rotating in the right direction, and they both are, not a problem. But if they're not rotating in the right direction, it means they're not gripping the sand the way they're supposed to. But yeah, doing these wheels is a bit of a pain in the butt, but it's all part of the process. Which one are we going for? That one. And as I said, if you do paint the wheels, as soon as you hit something, yeah, it's not going to work out well. So it's better just to leave them as they are, or buy yourself a different set of wheels that are already coated. Yeah, this is the fiddliest bit of the whole thing. Come on. Because you got to get these tiny nuts into these holes and line them up so you can put something into them, and they will fight you the whole way. So you see I've got 4 in there. I've got another one to do. I'm not going to put you through all that stuff. So that's where we're at. So yeah, that wheel would go on that side. That wheel will go on this side. So it sort of like scoops through the sand. But I can't put the back wheels on because I haven't put the engine in. And I can't do the engine until I line up and see how that pinion gear is going to work. And I can't do anything with the motor until I get the connectors. So I'll leave it there for now. Take care. See ya.